Endorphin relieves stress and anxiety, and it gives a feeling of euphoria. I'm sure that some of you or all of you have experienced this feeling that is called runner's high, which after doing some exercise, you start to feel better. If you had a pain, you don't feel the pain anymore. If you were anxious or stressful, you don't feel that anxiety and stress anymore. That's all, or primarily due to the release of endorphin after doing some exercise. Actually, after making this video, I am going to do some exercise just to get this runner's high. It's free after all. And so endorphin has been associated with the feeling for donation, like you feel like you want to donate something, or you're fine with donating something. It also makes people creative, relax, and too much endorphin probably results in laughing for a long period of time, or when you keep laughing at a joke or something funny, that's as a result of, or it releases endorphin in your blood. And finally, another interesting fact is that it's said, some researchers have claimed that having dark chocolate can release endorphin in the blood. So it's another way of getting that good feeling of relaxedness and feeling of euphoria, but I don't recommend too much dark chocolate if there's too much sugar in it. And there are two bad brain hormones and neurotransmitters, cortisol and adrenaline, that make people uncreative, intolerant, irritable, and critical of anything and everything. And also we get memory impaired. For example, when you are stressful and you want to do a presentation in front of a large audience, you may forget things. It might have happened to any of us, all of us, at some point. And the interesting thing is that, or the bad thing is that, when there's too much cortisol and adrenaline in our blood, we have a tendency to make wrong decisions. And we think this wrong decision, which could be quite emotional, is the right thing at that moment. That's why when we are angry, or we are irritated, or we don't feel good, it's not a good idea to make any important decision. Just give it some time so you will feel better. For example, go running, go jogging, or have some dark chocolate to feel better, and then think about making that decision again. Finally, you can ask yourself, what hormones am I inducing in the body and the brain of the viewers of my digital stories when I'm producing one? Am I inducing these hormones, or am I inducing these hormones? So what music, voice, tone, language, etc. will serve the purpose, these purposes best? I'm not saying that your digital storytelling has to always be a factor to induce positive emotions and to induce these positive, good hormones. Now, it sometimes could make the audiences feel stressful. Because you might feel that it's a better way to put across your message. But whatever we do, it's a good idea to know a little bit about the science of feelings and emotions, and see how we can use that science to have a better influence on our audiences. So one of these videos that I have shared here, I don't know which one, this one or that one, actually is about a politician who's campaigning. What I would like you to do is to watch that video, to think about the background music, the sort of language the person uses, and also to think about, what if that background music was something else? Would you still feel the same impact? At some point, the person gets a bit emotional in his talk. I'm not saying he's doing it intentionally and he's not sincere. What I'm saying is that from this perspective, that feeling of sadness can actually release some perhaps oxytocin, because it can, after the release, after seeing someone is almost is bursting into tears, you feel that you trust that person, because the person is displaying one of the most vulnerable moments of his or her life. So you start to trust that person. And if it's combined with some music which is sad, then the effect will be stronger, and without you knowing it, your body is releasing oxytocin. So you start to trust that person and feel a sort of bonding with him or her. And as a result, the message that he is trying to put forth might be accepted in a better, or he or she might have a higher chance to convince you to accept the message. So what I would like to suggest before ending this video is, if you watch a video about someone who is advertising something or who is campaigning or something, always think about that video in terms of this very simple 7 elements of digital storytelling. Think about the viewpoint. Think about the dramatic question that the person is trying to pose, the emotional content, the gift of the voice of that person who's using it, the power of soundtrack, pacing, economy. And ask yourself, am I reacting emotionally or positively to this video because of the effect of any of these elements? Or is it something else that's really attracting me? Is it the message itself, and it has nothing to do with that background music or the voice of the person, the body language, the gesture, the economy, the anything else that the person is trying to use to convince you to, for example, buy a product or to vote for him or her or to do something for them? Why is it that you're convinced that the person is telling the truth and is sincere and genuine, and you really want to help them in one way or another? It's important to ask ourselves, because nowadays social media has such a powerful impact on the life of many people. And although I personally do not use it, I don't know if LinkedIn is a social media or not, but I use LinkedIn and of course YouTube. But beyond that, I'm not using other types which are more commonly used by a lot of people, like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, etc. Although I'm not using this, I'm aware that they can really affect people's life. And a lot of research shows that. They can make you feel bad, they can make you feel miserable, they can make you feel very good, full of energy, and so on and so forth. So this would be one of the takeaways from this video. And of course, I was gonna finish this video earlier. I think I have to cut it into 2 halves so that it will not be too long. So before closing it, let me just add on to it by presenting this slide. So I'm not going to go through it too much, just want to remind you here that there is another framework called technological pedagogical content knowledge, which combined with digital storytelling can be very effective. So it would be nice for us as teachers and educators to learn about this framework, which has been around for some time right now. In this framework, we are talking about 6 knowledge bases that would be important in modern times. So we need to think about how to bring about those knowledge bases, how to teach them to our students. One of them is the content knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, and the other one is technology knowledge. Now the combination of the 3 knowledges also create the 3 other knowledge types. One being technological content knowledge, the other one being pedagogical content knowledge, and the last one being technological pedagogical knowledge. For more information, I would like to refer you to Mishra and Kohler in 2006, and of course a large number of other publications which you can either find on Google or in other databases like Scopus or the Web of Science. I looked at Scopus the other day and I found that there is a huge number of publications on technological pedagogical content knowledge and its applications in teaching and its relevance to digital storytelling. So it would be nice to take a look and see how you might want to use the framework for your teaching and research. Well, this brings me to the end of this series on digital storytelling. Thank you very much for staying with me, and I hope you have enjoyed it and learned something worthwhile. Have a good day and goodbye.